Welcome to the Peter Pan Christmas Tree Farm in Ashfield, Massachusetts. My name is Dave Jackie. I went to visit this tree farm because they're doing some very unusual things with the way they grow their Christmas trees. It's not your typical Christmas tree farm. Not only do they grow Christmas trees, they also grow greens. They harvest greens for wreaths and garlands, but they do that from the same tree over and over and over again, using a coppicing strategy that I didn't even know was possible. See, it turns out that even conifers, when they're damaged by storm or ice, they can resprout from dormant buds on the branches and in the trunk, and those sprouts can grow again into Christmas trees. They can be cut again and again and again from the same tree, as long as you leave a skirt of branches to keep the stump alive. You can get multiple trees off of each stump for many, many years. Al Pan began planting in 1954, and the same trees that he planted in the 1950s, 50 years old now, are still producing Christmas trees and greens on this farm. Now, Al's getting up to his 80s, and he's letting Emmett and Cecilia Van Driesch lease part of the 5 acres of his 10 acres, along with their daughter Eliza May, and they're bringing that 5 acres back into full production. So I went to go visit to see what they were doing, see what I could learn, and to share that with all of you. So I hope you'll enjoy this video, and thank you very much for listening.
This balsam fir has been cut several times. You can see on the stump there several places where a Christmas tree was cut, and then a new one sprouted. And that shoot has 5 years of growth on it. Actually, as you can see here, we have the first Christmas tree was cut off of this rotting stump right here. They're cutting these every 10 years when the trees are 10 years old. So this stump is at least 30 years old, because this one is probably about the same age. So this is a 30-year-old stump, maybe a little bit longer, and it's had 3 trees taken off with a fourth one coming. Notice the structure of the shoot here. This bud came out of an epicormic bud that sprouted out of this branch and then came up. So this specimen here is about 12 feet tall overall. The stump goes up to about 4 feet. This one on the right has a whole skirt of branches of its own, as you can see from over here. So you can see on the left there's a Christmas tree, shaped tree, and then down below there's a skirt of branches that helps keep the stump alive even after that tree gets cut. So it's had at least 5 trees taken off this thing. The diameter of the stump down near the bottom here is on the order of 8 inches. It's certainly got to be at least 30, 40 years, if not 50. Since it was planted.
Another example I saw was a 5-foot-high stump with 2 long horizontal branches on either side and a 3-foot tree sprouting from the left-hand branch. Under the good conditions, this tree on the left could be harvested in a few years' time. As you can see, the 3-foot future Christmas tree sprouted as usual from an epicormic bud on the left-hand horizontal branch. On the right-hand branch, we can see the stump from a previously harvested sister Christmas tree, and next to that, yet another bud shooting up to become a new tree. This 2 to 3-year-old shoot could be harvestable in 10 to 15 years. Even further to the right, we have a 6-foot-long horizontal branch full of branches that can be harvested for holiday greens that also help boost the growth of the Christmas trees that are growing on the stump. So here we have some interesting possibilities that could allow farmers to save money on labor and chemical fertilizer and planting stock and other upfront costs, provide an early winter income stream at a difficult time of year for farmers, eliminate seedling establishment periods, and thereby stabilize the income stream of a farmer from year to year, all while building soil, offering stable habitat for wildlife, and providing a pleasant, healthy work in a beautiful green environment for us and our children for years, decades, perhaps even for centuries. So if you want a few more tips, listen to the song all the way through, and thanks for being with us.
May the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by. For there's another Christmas tree growing to the sky, Lord, to the sky. Now Alpie planted these Christmas trees way back in 1955. And even though he has cut them all down, well, these trees are still alive. So may the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by. For there's another Christmas tree growing to the sky, Lord, to the sky. So when you cut a Christmas tree down, friend, cut that tree at 3 feet high, and leave a skirt of green branches growing all around her lovely thigh. So may the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by. For there's another Christmas tree growing to the sky, Lord, to the sky. And when the buds sprout upon those branches, well, you better thin them down, so that you have just one healthy leader to keep growing and go to town. So may the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by. For there's another Christmas tree growing to the sky, Lord, to the sky. And in 5 years you can let another bud sprout into a new tree, as long as both trees have lots of sunshine, so they can grow up cheerfully. So may the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by. For there's another Christmas tree growing to the sky, Lord, to the sky. Within a decade, well, you can harvest another green new Christmas tree, and have another now halfway grown up. It should be taller than your knee. So may the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by. For there's another Christmas tree growing to the sky, Lord, to the sky. And so I think you can take it from here, friend, you can take this from me. I hope you find this a useful practice that can help you to be free. May the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by. For there's another Christmas tree growing to the sky, Lord, to the sky. So may the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by. For there's another Christmas tree growing to the sky, Lord, to